Most of us celebrate our identity through our hair, our crown of glory. And one local nonprofit is helping everyone have better hair days, especially people who are dealing with serious illness. Welcome to 91.9 Public Affairs and APSU-TV. I'm Micah Terrell. Select Your Crown helps women and children all around Montgomery County and its surrounding areas with hair loss through chemotherapy, alopecia, or other medical conditions. And this nonprofit was created by Markeisha Wardell, who's a local salon owner, and just about 3 years ago or so. Markeisha, thanks so much for stopping by and sharing more with us about Select Your Crown. So first of all, let's talk about how the whole idea of Select Your Crown began.
Okay, so Select Your Crown began because I'm a hairstylist first. And I had a lot of women and children coming to me who had suffered from hair loss, and they needed some hair to be restored and to look great again. So I started creating custom units that looked a lot like their hair before treatment, and that's how it began. I had a lot of women and children who could not afford quality wig units, so we made them handmade just to look like their hair before treatment.
Great, so that gave them the opportunity to have a new sort of lease. Talk about that emotional toll. I know as a hairstylist, you get a lot of clients, like you said, who are struggling. How was that process? How do you guys work with them to help them work towards that? You need to do a little bit more because some people may need some emotional support.
Yeah, they do. So Select Your Crown, we also provide counseling. In our space, we have a huge event at the end of the year, well, in October, and they come in, they get custom wig units, they get full makeovers, and then we also have like a counseling area for people to share their stories and talk about their journey, and it really is a healing process that takes time, and so we are creating that community so that others don't feel like they're alone.
That's awesome. Now let's talk about Select Your Crown. So how if someone's interested and they meet with you, or like what do they do? You mentioned the consultation and the mental health support. What sort of time frame are they looking at, and how do they go about doing that?
So we open up submissions 2 months before we do our big event. And so our big event is in October every year. So 2 months before submissions, we open up and allow people to go on selectyourcrown.org and nominate themselves, or they can nominate someone else. We go through, you tell a little bit about your story, and then we invite you out to be selected. And it's a day full of just restoration and uplifting and pouring into one another. It's a really amazing time.
It looks like so much joy is on the faces. So tell us about your latest installment was fairly recently in October, like you mentioned, at the Wilma Rudolph Center. Now, how does the event celebrate that transformation, and then also respect the privacy of the clients that you work with?
So everyone that comes in, we bring them in, call them up kind of graduation style. We allow people to bring their family members with them so they can celebrate them coming down to receive their unit. And then we take everyone to a private glam room so that they can receive their wig units, get them put on, and have them styled. So you're getting celebrated out in the open, but your transformation is taking place in a private setting so that you don't feel like you're put on display. And you still have your privacy, and you still have that vulnerability behind closed doors. And then afterwards, well, actually this year, I don't want to forget, this year we incorporated a makeover area where you can play dress up. And so playing dress up was them going through all of these amazing clothes that were donated. They were high quality clothes, and you had the opportunity to pick something that you feel like you would never wear. So this year they received a head to toe makeover, and at the end we celebrated it with a runway walk.
Very fun and very cool. And that's what I really enjoyed, is you saw a variety of ages.
You did.
And looks, and it was so great.
Absolutely,
so, very fun.
Women saw things in our makeover and dress up corner, things that they felt like they could never wear, or they haven't put on since receiving their diagnosis. And so we had stylists over there that said, listen, if you feel like this color looks good, or I think this will look great on you, let's try it out. Yeah. Go ahead and open up, feel free, and get your groove back a little bit. So it was a good time. We saw a lot of great makeovers.
Very cool. And if you're just tuning in and join us, I'm Micah Terrell with 91.9 Public Affairs and APSU-TV, and I'm speaking with Markeisha Wardell of Select Your Crown. Now, I was surprised when I was doing research for this segment that alopecia affects so many people. I was really surprised. 700,000 Americans every year,
yes.
And that's from the National Alopecia Areata Foundation. And you and I talked a little bit before this segment too, and you mentioned there are several types that people don't realize. So talk about the education part of what you do too.
There are so many different types of alopecia. You have some where it's just spotty. Your hair will fall out in different spots. And then you have others where you lose your hair from head to toe, eyebrows, eyelashes, no hair on your arms, no hair on your legs. And I tell people that the experience for hair loss it's very different. But it's tragic in both the same, whether it's through chemotherapy or alopecia. Chemotherapy, you kind of expect your hair to start falling out. But some women who experience it due to alopecia, they wake up and they just see clumps on their pillow. And so it's traumatic because you have a whirlwind of emotions and you don't know why your hair is coming out. So you have to figure out the process of that. So it hits home in so many different ways when it comes to hair loss. And that's why we created this foundation.
Yeah, very scary alopecia, like you said, just all of a sudden, just nothing.
Right.
And yeah, it could be very traumatic. So that's awesome that you're there for support. Now, men also suffer from alopecia and hair loss through chemotherapy too. They do. So how can they get support? Are you working towards ways to do that?
So for our initial event, we have not had men. And one of the reasons why we haven't is our goal for the first event was 100 people, so 50 women, 50 children, and getting their custom units on, having their makeover done in ample amount of time and still looking like quality work. We couldn't go over about 20 minutes. Now, when it comes to men and non-surgical hair replacements, it takes a lot more time. So Select Your Crown does service men, but we're trying to find a way to incorporate that in our big event to where we can get them in and get their non-surgical hair replacements installed properly in that short amount of time.
Right. Now, when we talked about mental health support and everything, also wanted to touch on too, obviously the event that you do in every October is a huge event.
Yes,
lots of people to help with that, right? You have the actual wig units, the makeup, so many things. Talk about all the people involved in that and who help support it.
Oh man, well, the Clarksville community in itself has really showed out for Select Your Crown, but we have hairstylists to come out and volunteer, and then we just have our community that comes out and volunteer when it comes to being a usher that day or helping navigate to the back area, showing people all the vendors that are there. But all in all, with 3 years, we've had over 90 hairstylists come out and volunteer and help us make this event a magical thing and situation, and it allows us to move faster, and it also allows us to receive a lot more applicants the day of.
That's great.
The more help that we get, the more we can do.
And to follow up on that, if someone would like to help, maybe be a stylist or anything, or maybe donate their time, like you mentioned, like an usher or anything, what should people do if they'd like to help?
SelectYourCrown.org. So if you go on SelectYourCrown.org, we have all of our bulletins where it is if you want to volunteer, if you want to donate, or if you want to nominate. All of our information is available there.
Very cool. And if you're just tuning in to us now, this is Markeisha Wardell with Select Your Crown. And Select Your Crown is helping women and children who are dealing with hair loss, either through a medical condition, or maybe alopecia, or we talked about with chemotherapy. So very helpful and very, again, a lasting, really helpful transformation for them. So I wanted to talk about one of the quotes from your website, selectyourcrown.org, if you'd like to check that out. It says, "We want to take Select Your Crown nationwide and reach the masses." That's an awesome goal. How would you like to achieve that with help from the community or whomever?
So with Select Your Crown, we do want to take it nationwide. Our goal is to go state to state. Our very first year, we had women and children applying from New Mexico, from Florida, Massachusetts, everywhere. And so that let me know that this issue it's a nationwide situation, and those who could not attend, we just went ahead and did a virtual aspect, but our plan is to go state to state.
That would be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to help, selectyourcrown.org. Please check it out, and we'd love to do that. Now, we mentioned the website. If people would like to contact you with questions or more information, what should they do?
So they should go on selectyourcrown.org, and they can just email any questions that they have. We have a link if you want to go ahead and nominate. We're taking nominations all throughout the year, donations all throughout the year, and then if you have some type of organization that would like to partner with us, you'll see your information there too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Markeisha Wardell, thank you so much for your time with us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about Select Your Crown. I'm Micah Terrell with 91.9 FM Public Affairs and APSU-TV.